Millions of people travel across the United States every day. They drive across state lines to get to their jobs, visit family, or just for fun. But what they might not know is that the roads that they're re-driving on are haunted by ghosts who do want them to pass. There are several highways in the United States that are so scary that even the bravest truckers refuse to drive them at night. There are ghost lights that appear out of nowhere and disappear just as fast. There are abandoned cars and sometimes even boaties that have been left on the side of the road. These highways can turn your trip from relaxing to terrifying in seconds. So make sure to stay away from these places if you don't want to get spooked. In this video, we'll tell you about the most haunted highways in the United States. You'll want to avoid these roads at all costs. Let's get started. Route 66. Route 66 is one of the most famous roads in America, but it's also one of the most haunted. This 2,448 mile route stretches from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. And along the way, it passes through 8 states and hundreds of small towns. Many people travel Route 66 every year, but few realize that they're sharing the road with spirits from another time. One of the most active areas on Route 66 is the section that passes through Oklahoma. Here you can find the town of Veneta, which was once a popular stop for travelers. Today, the town is home to a number of historic buildings, including the Rock Cafe, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young girl who died in a car accident nearby. Drivers often report seeing the girl's ghost standing by the road or sitting in the cafe window. Another spot on Route 66 where the veil between the living and dead is said to be thinnest is the Colorado Street Bridge in Pasadena, California. This bridge is said to be haunted by the ghosts of those who died when the bridge collapsed in 1940. Some say that the spirits of the victims linger here, waiting for someone to help them move on. But perhaps the most famous ghost associated with Route 66 is that of the man known only as the Hitchhiker. He's said to appear along the route, hitchhiking to an unknown destination. When drivers pick him up, he disappears from the back seat. People have reported seeing his ghost standing by the side of the road or even walking down the middle of the highway. Some say he is a lost soul who died on Route 66 many years ago and is now forever searching for a ride to his final resting place. Interstate 95. Interstate 95 is one of the busiest highways in the United States, stretching from the Mexican border to the Canadian border. It passes through some of the most densely populated areas of the country, including Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City. As you can imagine, millions of people travel on I-95 every year, both day and night. While most of the traffic on I-95 is your typical commuter or long-haul trucker, there are some parts of the highway where you might see something a little more unusual. For example, there is the section of I-95 that passes through Wilmington, Delaware. This part of the highway is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who died in a car accident many years ago. Her name was Mary, and she was traveling with her 2 children when their car was hit by a drunk driver. All 3 were killed instantly, and Mary's ghost is said to wander the highway at night, looking for her lost children. Some drivers have also reported seeing the ghost of a little girl in a Victorian nightgown standing by the side of the road. She's said to be the ghost of Sarah Winchester, who died in an automobile accident in 1908. The craziest story comes from a truck stop on I-95 in Maryland. One night, a trucker was parked at the stop when he saw a ghostly procession of Confederate soldiers marching across the highway. He was the only one who saw it, because other truckers and travelers have reported seeing similar sights along I-95. Some believe these are the ghosts of Confederate soldiers who died during the Civil War, while others say they are simply figments of the imagination. But one thing is for sure, the stretch of I-95 between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore is one of the most haunted roads in America. Interstate 75. Interstate 75 is one of the longest highways in the United States, stretching from the Mexican border to the Canadian border. It passes through some of the most beautiful scenery in the country, including the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. But it also passes through some very dangerous and haunted territory. For example, There is a section of I-75 that passes through Tennessee. This part of the highway is said to be haunted by the ghost of a hitchhiker who died in a car accident many years ago. His name was Eddie, and he was traveling with his girlfriend when their car was hit by a drunk driver. Both were killed instantly, and Eddie's ghost is said to wander the highway at night, looking for a ride. Most truckers try to avoid I-75 at night because of the heavy fog that rolls in after dark. This makes it difficult to see, but it also makes it easier for the ghosts to hide. If you do decide to drive on I-75 at night, be careful, because you never know when you might encounter a ghost. Perhaps the most famous ghost associated with I-75 is that of a young boy who died in a car accident in the 1960s. His name was Timmy, and he was traveling with his family when their car went off the road and into a ditch. Everyone in the car was killed, and Timmy's ghost is said to haunt the area where it happened. Some drivers have reported seeing the boy's ghost standing by the side of the road or even walking along the highway. Others have heard the sound of a child's laughter or screams in the middle of the night. If you're brave enough to drive on I-75, be sure to keep an eye out for Timmy and the other ghosts who haunt this road. Interstate 40. Interstate 40 is one of the most famous highways in America. It runs from West Memphis, Arkansas, to Wilmington, North Carolina, and along the way, it passes through some of the most iconic parts of our country, including the Great Smoky Mountains, Nashville, and Memphis. But if you're planning a road trip on I-40, you might want to think again. That's because this highway is also one of the most haunted in America. One of the most active areas on I-40 is the section that passes through Tennessee. This part of the highway is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who died in a car accident many years ago. Her name was Ruth, and she was traveling with her husband when their car ran off the road and into a ditch. Both were killed instantly, and Ruth's ghost is said to wander the highway at night, looking for her lost love. But perhaps the most famous ghost associated with I-40 is that of a man known only as the Hitchhiker. He's said to appear along the route, hitchhiking to an unknown destination. When drivers pick him up, he disappears from the back seat. People have reported seeing his ghost standing by the side of the road or even walking down the middle of the highway. Some say he has a lost soul who died on I-40 many years ago and is now forever searching for a ride to his final resting place. When you're driving on I-40, be sure to keep an eye out for Ruth, the hitchhiker, and the other ghosts who haunt this road. These are just a few of the many haunted highways in the United States. If you've ever driven any of these roads, then you may have seen one of the ghosts that haunt them. But there are many other haunted roads in America, and we encourage you to do your research before hitting the road. You never know what you might encounter. Thanks for watching. Do you know of any other haunted highways? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of our others.